What if I told you the world's favorite Disney star would one day surprise millions with a dance that made headlines on live TV, swing on a wrecking ball in a famous music video, and have a career that was surprising and always in the news? This isn't just a story about being famous. This is about a girl from Tennessee who got rid of her Disney image and became someone the world did not expect. From the good girl Hannah Montana to a rule-breaking star, this is the story of how Miley Cyrus became famous in a complicated and talked about way. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see her in a whole new way. To understand how Miley became famous and the problems that almost hurt her career, we have to go back to a small town in Tennessee, where she was born as Destiny Hope Cyrus in 1992. Her name was not chosen by chance. Her parents believed she was meant for great things, and Hope showed how positive they felt about her future. Her dad, Billy Ray Cyrus, was already a country music star, known for his song Achy Breaky Heart, which got stuck in everyone's head around the world in the 90s. The family was already famous, but no one knew that little Destiny would one day become much more famous than her father, and with a lot more public drama along the way. From the start, Miley loved to perform. She would put on small shows in the living room, ask to be in her dad's concerts, and win everyone over with a smile so big that her parents nicknamed her Smiley. That nickname was shortened to Miley, and soon it became her real name and who she was. But Miley's childhood wasn't always easy. Her family lived on a farm, but she also traveled on the road with her dad, always around the good and bad parts of the entertainment world. She saw the nice things about being famous, but also the loneliness and pressure that came with it. When she was just 11, Miley tried out for a new Disney Channel show that no one knew would become one of the biggest TV hits of the 2000s, Hannah Montana. At first, they thought she would be good for the best friends part, but her tryout was so exciting that Disney decided she was perfect for the main role. There was just one problem. They thought she was too young for the part. But Miley did not give up. She came back, tried out again, and this time, they had to choose her. She got the part of Miley Stewart, a teenage girl living two lives, one as a normal high school student and the other as a pop superstar at night. The show was a huge hit right away. Kids all over the world weren't just watching Hannah Montana, they felt like they were part of it. Concerts sold out in minutes, toys and clothes with her face on them sold out, and Miley suddenly became a world-famous star before she was even old enough to drive. She was smiling on red carpets, singing sweet pop songs, and making Disney a lot of money. But behind that shiny image, trouble was starting. Miley was growing up fast. Disney wanted her to stay a perfect role model, but she was becoming a teenager, wanting to be her own person and feeling trapped by the strict rules about her image. Her real life and her TV character were starting to mix, and Miley began to feel stuck inside the character that made her famous. The world thought she was Hannah Montana, but Miley wanted to be seen as herself, and she was nothing like the version Disney approved of. The first signs of her changing image showed up in 2008, when Vanity Fair magazine printed photos of a 15-year-old Miley taken by a famous photographer, wrapped in a sheet. Disney fans were surprised. Some parents were angry. Miley said sorry at the time, saying she felt embarrassed. But years later, she said she wasn't ashamed at all. She was just learning how the news works. That public argument was the first of many, and Miley quickly got a lot of attention from the news. By the time she released her 2010 album, Can't Be Tamed, the change was clear. The music videos were more daring, the outfits were bolder, and the song lyrics suggested that Miley was no longer the little girl Disney showed the world. But nothing could have prepared fans for what she did next. In 2013, Miley started her Bangerz album period, and it was a total break from the person she used to be. Her MTV VMA show with Robin Thicke, with its shocking dance, a foam finger, and a lot of tongue, became one of the most talked about moments in pop culture history. People had very different opinions. Headlines questioned her choices, with some calling her new direction out of control and a bad influence. But Miley wasn't sorry. In fact, she defended her choices, saying she was just being herself. The talk only made her more famous. Her song Wrecking Ball was #1 all over the world. partly because of its talked-about video of Miley swinging on a wrecking ball. Some called it art, others called it a trick to get attention, but everyone was talking about her, and that was the whole point. Behind the drama, though, was a young woman dealing with big personal problems. Miley had been engaged to actor Liam Hemsworth, but their on-and-off relationship was full of drama and strong feelings. She was open about her personal life and choices, which often went against what Hollywood expected. She was ignoring the industry's rules and becoming famous in her own, unusual way. But the public reaction was mean. Parents who once loved her as Hannah Montana now saw her as a bad example. News experts accused her of just wanting attention and of hurting her own career. But Miley was playing by her own rules. She wasn't trying to please everyone anymore. She was moving on from people who only liked her when she was the person they wanted her to be. Still, the pressure was hard on her. In interviews, Miley admitted to dealing with anxiety, depression, and the stress of growing up with everyone watching her. She also began to use her fame to help others, speaking up for LGBTQ+ rights, starting the Happy Hippie Foundation to help homeless young people, and questioning ideas about gender. These actions got her both praise and more arguments, as some critics accused her of using her charity work to get more attention. By the late 2010s, Miley's career was a series of big changes. One moment she was releasing simple country-style music, and the next she was back to bold pop shows. Her 2019 split from Liam Hemsworth became a big news story, with her personal life all over the headlines. Miley put her feelings into her music, releasing songs like Slide Away, which hinted at the pain and drama of her personal life. Then came another change. In 2020, Miley tried a glam rock punk style with her album Plastic Hearts, getting great reviews for her strong voice and honest feelings. For the first time in years, it felt like people were focused more on her music than on her public image. But because she is Miley, she never stayed in one style for long. She continued to speak openly about her sexuality, her past choices, and her refusal to be what Hollywood expected. In one interview, she said, "I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to be real." And that maybe is the best way to understand her career. She's never been interested in fitting in. She's been breaking the rules her whole life. Miley Cyrus's story was complicated because it was messy, surprising, and always being watched closely. Her moments that made headlines weren't just accidents. They were part of her fighting back and trying to survive. She's been called a genius, a role model, and a bad influence, sometimes all in the same week. But through it all, she's remained one thing: unforgettable. And maybe that's the real lesson of her story. You can try to control someone's image, to keep them as the perfect Disney star forever, but sooner or later, the real person comes out. People grow up. They change. They make mistakes. And sometimes, those mistakes are the very thing that makes them free. So whether you love her or feel differently, Miley Cyrus has done something most child stars never do. She's survived. She's changed herself again and again, not just to stay popular, but to stay true to who she is at that moment. And in a business that can be tough on young stars, that's not just uncommon, it's groundbreaking. Because in the end, the story of Miley Cyrus isn't just about being famous or causing drama. It's about a girl from Tennessee who refused to let anyone else write her story. And whether she's singing a country song, a punk rock song, or swinging from the ceiling in a video everyone is watching, she's still doing exactly what she's always done: being Miley.